Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, good evening and welcome all of you. Today evening's Bhagvatam Class. So, just now finished the recitation of the important verses. Of course, we will be adding up our verses more and more as we go ahead. And with respect to verse number 1.2.16 was the last verse which we discussed, and they said we'll just brush up on that verse and what is actually it's conveying, because from this verse there is a set of 5 verses which are there, which together give a very big important message to all of us. So 1.2.16, the verse says, "O twice born sage, by serving those devotees who are completely free from all vices, great service is done. By such service, one gains affinity for hearing the message of Vasudeva." Now, generally people don't have an affinity to listen to the message of the Lord. They have time for everything in this world, but not to attend a Bhagavatam class or go to a Bhagavad Saptah और वहां जाके कुछ सुनना नहीं है उनको. बस भौतिक चीजों में, फिल्मी गाना, फिल्मी चीजों में ज्यादा रस व्यक्ति का उसमें डूबा हुआ है. तो ये अगर आपको इच्छा है बढ़ाने की, अगर इच्छा नहीं है, so how do you do that? How do you get it? So the secret is given in this verse. It says very clearly, "Syan mahat sevaya vipraha." When you do the seva of mahat, mahat means साधु जनों का, वैष्णवों का सेवा करने मात्र से आपके अंदर वो इच्छा जागती है कि how we should listen about the dearness of the Lord. And don't worry, if you all are not having it, don't worry. Even Hanuman ji did not have the habit of listening to Katha. I tell you one small incident. It is told by Sri Sampradaya Acharyas. It is said that once Ramchandra ji was looking at Hanuman ji. Hanuman ji was busy doing all the seva, घर पे बहुत सेवा कर रहे थे घर पे. And of course, लीला में तो सब भाग तो ले ही रहे थे. So this is after he had come back from Lanka. सीता मैया को लेके आ गए थे तभी की बात. तो हनुमान जी को बुलाया, बोला हनुमान जी इतना सेवा में बिजी रहते हो, कभी कभार कथा भी सुन लिया करो. हनुमान जी बोला ठीक है, अभी आपकी कथा क्या सुनना, मैं तो अभी आपकी लीला है तो अपरंपार है, मैं तो हमेशा आपकी लीलाओं को देखता हूँ और उसी में रमा हुआ रहता हूँ. Just give one type of this type of a chair for me. This type of a chair. So Hanuman ji was quite what do you say, reluctant. He said, "No, what's a big need? I'll not go. I'm doing seva of yours. I'm very happy doing your seva." So कभी जो है ना घमंड रहता है, सेवा का भी घमंड रहता है. So Lord make sure that कभी भी हमेशा कितने भी बड़े व्यक्ति क्यों ना हो, कथा सुनने की आदत होनी चाहिए. One should have the habit of listening to kathas. So what रामचंद्र जी said, ठीक है कब थोड़ा सुन लिया करो यार, ठीक है देखेंगे. I mean, he was not pro for it. So then Ramchandra ji was just talking like this, playing with this ring. So removing his ring and putting it back, removing his ring and putting it back. Suddenly the ring fell and rolled out. Hanuman ji is speed of wind. He is in the speed of wind. He went as a Superman, went to catch the ring. Ring बचाने गए, उठाने गए. और ring थोड़ा और roll होके आ गए. Speed of wind, Superman. Our most powerful Superman is not able to catch this small ring of Lord Ramchandra. He's going further ahead. He's further going ahead. The whole ring made Hanuman ji run the whole Brahmand. The whole Brahmand, Hanuman ji is trying to catch the ring and the ring is still rolling. It's like, when you are standing near the boundary, the ball is coming, and you want to take the tag out of it, but still the sheen out of the ball, but still the ball is running towards the boundary line. So you're running, and you're just 1 feet ahead. 1 feet ahead, 1 feet ahead. He came to know, oh, this is very difficult. He came to Ramchandra. Ramchandra, please save me. What? But this ring is here in my hand. What are you saying? The ring is in my hand. Hey, by the way, you wanted to learn Katha, no? Why did you go and listen to Katha? Kiska Katha? Who can give me Katha? Hanuman ji, part and parcel of the Ramayana himself, उनको कौन कथा सुनाए? तो उन्होंने एक काम किया, यहाँ से नीलगिरी पर्वत में जाओ, वहाँ पे कागभूषणी जी बैठे हैं, तो कागभूषणी जी will give you the कथा of रामायण. ठीक है, हनुमान जी सुपरमैन वहाँ 2 मिनट में पहुँच गया वहाँ पे, और कागभूषणी जी luckily was speaking about सुंदरकांड, where हनुमान जी is a hero. तो पहुँच गया वहाँ पे, तो हनुमान जी सुंदरकांड चालू था वहाँ पे, and कागभूषणी जी is giving the lecture, and Hanuman ji is quietly listening. What is, Hanuman ji is so great. In one step he kept in Rameshwaram, and other leg he kept his other foot. He kept his foot on Lanka, and सीधा लंका लांग गए. एक कद में लंका लाग, और वहां जाके उनको इतना गुस्सा आया, उन्होंने एक डायनासोर की तरह करके हवा मारा, फूंक मारा, और पूरा लंका जल गया. फिर सीता मैया को मिले, उन्होंने उसके पास से चूड़ामणि लिया, और पूरा लंका तहस नहस हो गई थी, और वापस आ गए. बस इतना ही पोर्शन सुना. हनुमान जी मनी मन. आजकल कथावाचक लोग कितना फेंकते हैं. क्या फेंक रहे बाबा, मैं खुद किया. क्या कहा है, लाइक ए डायनासोर, एक फूंक मारा और पूरा जल गया. And is it possible? I mean, Hanuman ji just blowing, not like a dinosaur, just imagine. Blowing some air and hot air and everything getting burnt off. And one step he was here, but बीच का तो पूरा एडिट ही कर दिया. बीच का तो कितना एडिट कर दिया. हाँ, शमिका आया थी, ये आया था, ये पहाड़ का मैनाक पर्वत, शमिका राक्षसी, ये सबको तो एडिट ही कर दिया. सीधा one step here, one step there, then blowing the fire on Lanka. हनुमान जी आ गए. तो रामचंद्र, हाँ क्या कथा गए थे, अच्छा लगा? हाँ अच्छा लगा, मगर क्या है, आजकल कथावाचक लोगों का भरोसा नहीं. बहुत आजकल मसाला डाल देते हैं. और कथावाचक के कौन था? कागभूषणी जी थे. क्या अच्छा वापस रामचंद्र रिंग के साथ, एंड दिस टाइम द रिंग फell. अरे हनुमान जी रिंग पकड़ो. हनुमान जी फ्लाइंग, रिंग गोइंग अहेड, वापस वही चालू, उड़ते सुमेरु पर्वत तक चला गया रिंग. रामचंद्र जी का रिंग वेंट अप टू सुमेरु पर्वत, एंड वहां जाके रिंग अंदर जा गया, और एक गुफा के अंदर जाते हुए थे. तो हनुमान जी को अंदर जाता हूं, बाहर एक जायंट मंकी खड़ा. बंदर कहां जा रहा है तू अंदर? मंकी सेड, व्हाट मी, यू डोंट नो मी. वो जैकी चेन स्टाइल, यू डोंट नो मी, यू डोंट नो मी, आई एम हनुमान. Yes. You, the foolish monkey, you are Hanuman? Not possible. Hanuman is not like you. Hanuman is a great devotee. You want to meet Hanuman? I'll show you the way. Go inside. Hanuman is sitting there inside. Hanuman confused. क्या हो रहा है? He went inside. Inside he went. There he saw one giant monkey sitting on a chair, and अंदर कीर्तन हो रहा है. सीताराम 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 गा रहे हैं. एंड वहां से उस व्यक्ति की आंख में से आंसू गिर रहे, टप 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 आंसू गिर रहे. और कितना एक बड़ा सरोवर हो गया उधर. एंड डोंट थिंक, हम लोग भी रोते रहते हैं, वो बात अलग है, बट ये आंसू था भगवान के नाम का आंसू था, आनंद के अश्रु थे। एंड वहां पे सब जमा हो गया, पानी चला और उस जल में जमा हो, ये कौन है? तो आइए पधारिए, उन्होंने इसको रिस्पेक्टफुली इनवाइट किया। क्या हो गया? आप वो रिंग ढूंढने आए क्या? अंगूठी ढूंढने आए क्या? हाँ यस यस, मैं अंगूठी ढूंढने आया। ले लो, उस तालाब में रहेगा, ले लो। तालाब में देखा hundreds of अंगूठीज, hundreds of अंगूठीज। तो मैं ये सर मेरा अंगूठी इसमें कौन सा है? hundreds of अंगूठीज अंदर, तो I only want one अंगूठी which was lost of रामचंद्र जी। No, don't worry, they are all रामचंद्र जी अंगूठीज। In each kalpa Ramchandra ji comes. In each day of Brahma, in each kalpa, in each Chaturyuga, Ramchandra ji comes. And when Ramchandra ji comes, Hanuman ji also comes. So for every kalpa, there is another Hanuman ji. I am the first Hanuman ji. And whenever, doing little seva, when someone gets the abhiman, that is why people don't want to come to Katha. क्या सिखाएगा? An old or an bald person will पकाएगा अपने को, क्या सिखाएगा? मेरा क्या नहीं मालूम। And what else? And whatever little I don't know, Google is there for it. I don't need anything. I can get the entire Ramayana on Google. I can enter the Mahabharata on Google. But the knowledge of Ramayana and Mahabharata is not available on Google. The text is available on Google, but you cannot understand the bhava and the meaning inside Google. So he said, don't worry, every time when Hanumanji doesn't have an affinity to listen, Ramchandraji's ring falls down. And it comes and reaches here. And then, when the Hanuman comes here to pick up, that time he realizes two अंगूठीज are immediately there. Immediately he leaves अंगूठी and automatically वहाँ रामचंद्र जी के हाथ में उंगली में अंगूठी आ जाती। He was humbled, sorry, like this part. And what katha you heard na was of the earlier kalpa. In this kalpa you had 3 jumps to reach Lanka. You had 3 impediments to reach Lanka. And after reaching Lanka, पूंछ पे कपड़ा लपेट के उस पे घी लगा के उस पे कपूर लगा के आग लगाया गया, सब हुआ। बट पहले कल्प में नहीं था ऐसा। वो हनुमान जी ज्यादा स्ट्रांग थे, वो करके फूंक मारे और पूरा लंका जल गया। So remember, whenever Kathawachak sits, authorized, bona fide Kathawachak, when he sits on the Vyasasana, he says, means it must have happened in some kalpa or the other. That is always energized from inside. And then Hanuman ji came back to Ramchandra ji. और मिल गया मोटी, fell down at his feet. Sorry, I'm very sorry. Please advise me, guide me. तो हनुमान जी रामचंद्र जी बोले क्या? बोला इतने साल में मैंने आपसे कुछ मांगा नहीं, आज कुछ मांगना चाहता हूँ। ठीक है, मांग लो, क्या मांगना है मांग लो। आपको तो अब कभी मांगते नहीं हो, ले लो, anything you feel. First and foremost, I should not get abhiman of doing seva. I should never get abhiman and ahankar of doing seva. Second, I should always be at your service. And third, whenever your katha is there, I want to expand so many places. I want to listen to all your kathas. जहां भी आपकी कथा हो, एक ही शाम को 10 जगह पे कथा हो रही हो, तो मैं 10 जगह अलग हो जाऊं और 10 जगह पे कथा सुनूं। पहले आऊं और आखिरी में जाऊं। वक्ता और दर्शक श्रोता के पहले मैं पहुंचूं और सबके बाद एंड में। So this is what Hanuman ji prayed in front of Ramchandra. So finally Ramchandra ji guaranteed. So don't worry, if you all don't have an affinity to listen to the gatha. See here, the word affinity has a deeper meaning. Affinity means not just listening to it, but implementing in one's own life. That is the biggest problem. The problem is not just listening. Listening is very easy. But implementing in life, listening from Guru Maharaj is very easy. Implementing the instructions given by Guru Maharaj, very difficult. By default, that shows how less we are surrendered. And we are expecting that we will go back to Godhead. When we can't surrender, we surrender to the spiritual master with some terms and conditions. How can you surrender to God without terms and conditions? If you are surrendering to the spiritual master with conditions, spiritual master tells you, please do this, please do that. आप बोल देते हो कि आप तो भी 4 दिन हो बाद में जाने वाले, गुरु महाराज तो नहीं रहेंगे, 4 दिन के बाद गुरु महाराज तो चले जाएंगे, वो थोड़ी देखने में मैं क्या करूं. But the surrender to spiritual master means what? You have come to the first step to surrender towards Krishna. And what does surrender mean? What does surrender mean? What does surrender mean? Surrender. So what do you do? Give a nice smile. 2 प्लेट पाव भाजी. Yes, what does surrender mean? Hands up means what? आगे कुछ बोलो. Means you have no say. You have no option. Whatever has been told to you, you have to do it without saying, I'll think about it, I'll plan about it. It is not favorable for me. See, that's a big problem. Why we ask questions, certain questions? The very fact that we are asking certain question means what? एक simple question, एक छोटी सी कहानी को. एक बार एक व्यक्ति गुरुजी के पास आया. गुरुजी अब लोभ तो करना नहीं चाहिए ना. I should not do लोभ. मुझे दान करना चाहिए ना. तो गुरुजी was wondering why this idiot asking. This is common sense, but still why is he asking? लोभ नहीं करना चाहिए, दान करना चाहिए. That's something, that's nothing from the sky. Then Guruji asked, just imagine you are gone to meet your friend, and suddenly in your friend's house, from the terrace, a snake falls in your lap. Will you come to ask me? Will you come to ask me whether should I throw the snake away or should I keep it? That's common sense. I will definitely throw the snake. Means where you don't like, you want to do as per your liking. And when it is difficult for you, like if Guru Maharaj says, hey, from tomorrow you should not wear pant shirt, you should wear dhoti kurta. Means what? Your affinity, your attraction towards that has not come. If one doesn't leave his basic attractions, what is the question of surrender? Zero. And surrender means what? What does surrender actually mean? Once you have given yourself to that person, he decides what is good and what is bad for you. You don't decide what is good and what is bad for you. You don't consider himself as a fool. उसको बेवकूफ मत समझो, उससे अपने आप को शाना मत समझो. You know, people generally, devotees have got a thing. Devotees got a small understanding that they are 1+ extra minded. तो अगर किसी को मैं बोलूं मावा छोड़ो, छोड़ना चाहिए प्रभु, मुझे मावा अच्छी बात है, गलत बात है ना प्रभु जी? नहीं, थोड़ा बहुत तो चले, वंस इन अ व्हाइल तो चले. मीन्स व्हाट? आपकी इच्छा ही नहीं. एक बार एक ट्रेन में एक आदमी पानी बेच रहा, चालू ट्रेन में ना पाउचेस दे सेल ना गाँव में 5 रुपया पाउच 5 रुपया। तो एक आदमी ट्रेन बोला अरे रुक क्या 5 रुपया 2.5 रुपये का दे 2.5 रुपये में दे 2 रुपये में दे। So he didn't give any reply. He just went off. And he went to the next coach, started selling. At the end, he came back. All the material was sold off. No water left. क्या असम ठीक है यार नहीं भी ना बोलते तो ठीक है कम से कम जवाब तो देते। He said क्या जवाब दूं आपको उतनी प्यास ही नहीं लगी थी कि आप दो क्या बोलते तोल मोल करते भाव नहीं करते। You are not having that much of God, the thirst to take the rules and regulations given by the spiritual master. The Diksha Guru gives you some instructions. You should have the thirst. Yes, please give me more instructions. More instructions means more mercy. So, if you all are not having the affinity, don't worry. There is one secret formula, and that secret formula is by doing seva of Mahat Sevaya. That is for doing seva of Vaishnavas and other people, you can develop affinity for the Lord. Second, we are on next verse. 1:2.17. Shrunvatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Hridayantastito hi Abadrani Vidunoti Suhat Srutam. This is a full series. Then the next verse, Nashtaprayeshu Badreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavatir Naishtaki. So there's a series of 5-6 verses which form one package. So what does this say? Shrunvatam Swakatha Krishna. First is one doesn't have affinity for seva. First is one person doesn't have an affinity for seva. So when he does Mahat Sevaya, seva of the Vaishnavas, there he develops an affinity. For what? Krishna Gatha. तो भक्ति नहीं बना है, please don't understand ना. क्या भगवान प्रभु जी मैं बहुत वैष्णव का सेवा करता हूँ. No, now you have developed the affinity to listen to it. And then when you come to listen, then comes this Shrunvatam Swakatha Krishna. भगवान का कथा खुद सुनेंगे. पुण्य श्रवण कीर्तन. What is it? Punya Shravana Kirtana. It is virtues and hearing and chanting. 3 things. You understand about the greatness of the Lord. You are singing the holy name of the Lord, and you are hearing about the various acts which Lord has done. Now you will say, Prabhuji, what is so great about listening to the various acts done by Lord? रामचंद्र जी ने ये किया, रामचंद्र जी ने ऐसा बाण मारा, वो पूरा 7 धाड़ एक साथ आर पार कर दिए, बाली को मार दिया, इसको मार दिया, and all that big stuff. What do we learn from that? What is the big benefit? हृदयंतस्थितो हि अभद्राणि. जब हम वो सुनते हैं तो हमारे मन में जो कल्मश, the bad things which are there in our heart, हृदयंतस्थितो हि अभद्राणि Vidunoti suhat satam. Vidunoti means, dunoti means cleaning. Vidunoti means special cleaning. Special high class cleaning. Urban class cleaning. ऐसे ही बोलेंगे तो सब अंदर जाएगा नहीं तो जाएगा नहीं. तो vidunoti suhat satam. Now, suhrit means is a benefactor and satam means truthful. Lord is your best benefactor and always true. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttama shloke bhaktir bhavatir naishtaki. Can anyone read the translation of this verse?
By regular attendance in classes on the Bhagavatam and by the rendering of service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, who is praised with transcendental songs, is established as an irrevocable fact.
Let's come back to Sanskrit. That is more easy. English is a little complicated times. That bhava doesn't come. Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu. Nashta means finished. Prayeshu means mostly. Almost to nil. That's what Prabhupada writes. Almost to nil. करीब फायदा क्या, इतना स्पेशल क्लीनिंग करा के ऑलमोस्ट निल. 1% कंटामिनेशन, 2% कंटामिनेशन, 5% कंटामिनेशन अगर रह गया तो क्या फायदा. So Lord says, Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu. Oh, sorry, Shukdev Goswami says, Nityam Bhagavatsa Sevaya, and that is also possible when it is Nityam, daily है, always. या Saturday Sunday आने को तकलीफ है. But you are supposed to be Nityam. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Bhagavati Uttama Shloke. Now here, Srila Prabhupada writes as Uttama here, it's very transcendental and blissful. That prayers means Shloke means prayers. Bhaktir Bhavatir Naishtaki. Loving service comes into being and it's irrevocable. Means it will not reverse back. It is a non-return wall laga hai. Once you come to that level, you will not come down. You will always be in the transcendental level. So my question here is, why almost? थोड़ा क्यों रख दिया करो? When Lord can take away 90% or 95%, why should He keep that 5% back? Yes, our knowledgeful Darshan Prabhu will give us a lot. Yes, bro. Yes, bro. Yes. बोलो. 5% क्यों रखेगा? अभिमान का कहाँ इसमें है?
वो चैंटिंग एंड हरि कथा से हो गया, कीर्तन के लिए कि उससे भी डूइंग मतलब थोड़ा
भागवतम जो कर सकता है कुछ कोई और कर ही नहीं सकता, कि सारे वेदों का जो फल है वो भागवत का फल है. और भागवत का फल जो है, दैट इज व्हाई निगम कल्पतरो गलितम फलम शिव मुखार द्रव्य अमृत संयुक्तम पीबत भागवत रसमालयम मूढ़ रसिका भूमि भाव का. व्हाई डज दिस वर्ड इज सो इंपॉर्टेंट? कहते हैं कि बाकी फल में कभी छिलका वेस्ट तो कभी गुठली वेस्ट, और ये एक फल है फुल 100%, छिलका भी अंदर, उसका अंदर का रसमय चीज भी अंदर, और नो गुठली. So there is zero waste. This is Bhagavad. Now, yes, माता जी आप जवाब दीजिए. पहले आप ऑनलाइन में जवाब देते थे, ऑफलाइन में जवाब देना बंद कर दिया. बोलिए. भगवान यहाँ कह रहे हैं नष्ट प्रायेषु अभद्रेषु. बाय द वे, अभद्र इज काम क्रोध. भगवान ने काम दिया क्या? Why do we have काम? Why do we have काम? बोलो.
प्रभु जी, स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड का रिफ्लेक्शन है मटेरियल वर्ल्ड, तो स्पिरिचुअल वर्ल्ड में लव है तो इधर काम है.
बोलो.
इच्छा रहेगी भगवान को प्राप्त करने की, एटलीस्ट इच्छा.
हाँ,
काम इज नॉट ओनली लॉस ना.
हाँ, गुड, वेरी नाइस, वेरी नाइस. हाँ,
Free will is there.
फ्री विल कहाँ से आ गए?
But then you didn't count it and you have free will that you come.
No, you have to understand this, that Kama Vardhana, when you read the 10th canto Raslila, he says Krishna's Venu has increased Kama Vardhana. In the gopis, he has increased the Kama. Now, what does that mean? We are supposed to use all that. Abhadras, what we call as, they are not Abhadras. काम, क्रोध, लोभ, मोह, ये सब किसके लिए यूज करना है अपने को? बट हम लोग किसके लिए यूज कर रहे हैं? How to push him out of the life? Very nicely, how to put Lord out of our life and get all unwanted things in our life. For that purpose we have got. क्रोध, कितने लोगों को क्रोध होता है, आई मिस द क्लास। हाँ, प्रसादन के लिए एक बड़ा सा, मगर क्लास के लिए कितने लोगों को आई मिस द क्लास, आई मिस टुडेस मंगला आरती, आई मिस माय चैंटिंग टुडे। हाउ मेनी पीपल गेट दिस एंगर? यू हैव एनी क्वेश्चन टू आस्क? आपको कुछ पूछना है? पूछना है कुछ?
आपने जो बोला ना, जो क्रोध आता है, गुस्सा आता है, वो भी भगवान ने ही दिया है।
हाँ, तो किसके लिए दिया है? वही तो मैं बता रहा हूँ कि क्रोध दिया है बॉस पे निकालने के लिए नहीं, पति पे निकालने के लिए नहीं है, बच्चों पे निकालने के लिए नहीं है, बट हम लोग ने हमारी भौतिक दुनिया में इतने व्यस्त हो गए हैं कि हमने अभी तक आध्यात्मिक दुनिया में कुछ न पाने का गम नहीं है अपने अंदर। क्रोध कब आता है? When you are not achieved your desired thing. जब आपके पड़ोसी ने बड़ा गाड़ी ले लिया आपसे, क्रोध आता है, बट वो क्रोध गलत है, that is misuse of anger. Anger should be there. Even Hanuman ji got angry when he went to when he went into Lanka and he used the anger to burn the entire Lanka for the service of the Lord. He did not use the anger for his personal benefits. Get this point very clear. So क्रोध जो है हमको आना चाहिए, अरे आई एम नॉट फॉलोइंग द इंस्ट्रक्शंस गिवन, आई एम डूइंग इट whimsically as per my will and pleasure. That is wrong. That क्रोध should come on yourself, that I am not justifying my service to the Lord. That karma should be used, oh my desire should be लोभ। या किसी के पास दुकान, कोई दुकान पे बैठा है यहाँ पे? Nobody has a shop.
I had.
You had a shop. So what was your average target per day? Average.
Yeah, to sell more.
But still like money target. Let's say
At least
50,000 a day. Suppose you open the shop in the morning and by 11 o'clock 1 lakh का सेल हो गया, would you shut down the shutter?
Never.
हैं? दोपहर को 2 लाख होना चाहिए। हाँ, भगवान अच्छा है, बड़ा महंगा कर लेके चलाएंगे, हार चढ़ाएंगे, महंगा वाला हार चढ़ाएंगे। This is what you will all do. But लोभ means what? अभी ऐसा, और माल आने दो, और माल आने दो,
और माला कर।
हाँ। That is too much. I am not eating on dinner Saturday nights. I don't eat dinner, so don't feed me so much. One call you get and that's it. You're out of this world immediately. So, लोभ should be that much. कि भाई जैसा आज का टारगेट पूरा होने के बाद भी व्यक्ति अपना दुकान बंद नहीं करता है, he wants some more. ऐसा होना चाहिए। आज कितना, इतना माला किया, आज इतने कथा सुना, आज इतने भगवान का सेवा किया, let me do some. इसको कहते हैं दिल मांगे मोर। नहीं, इसको दिल मांगे मोर नहीं बोलते, but that is what generally people consider as happiness, but that is not happiness. So काम, क्रोध, लोभ, मोह, these are all. Moha means what? You are always confused. What is to be done? What is not to be done? And there's always a good mind and a bad mind. You know, like when you used to see cartoons, especially the Tom and Jerry, there used to one pop out from the brain with 2 horns, one with a ring, one with 2 red horns, and one blue ring. There's the angel one, there's a devilish one. Now, I hope you all remember that. So, tell me, if there is a fight between a good dog and a bad dog. I think I explained to you once, you remember? Yes, remember, huh? So there's a fight between a good dog and a bad dog. Which dog will win? Good dog. Bad dog will win. Bad dog will win. What do you say, Mataji? Which dog will win? Bad dog will win. How many of you say the good dog will win? Good dog will. Okay. What about you? Neutral.
Me? Not understanding the point.
Nee, if suppose there is a god, bad dog,
I mean, good in terms of what?
just saying to evil that god,
Angelish.
the good one, the angelish one, and the devilish one. So the two fight. Which one will win? Like, let's say Tom's the angel version and the devilish version. They both start fighting. Which one will win?
In Tom's case, Tom is he's a good guy. In Tom's case, he's the good guy, so he wins all the time.
Jerry, poor fellow, what did he do?
But Jerry's not the devil.
Okay. Yes, Shudha. Which one? Good one or the bad?
I think that starting.
You're talking about yourself or you're talking about the dog? Yes.
Prabhuji, the one you will feed, that dog will win.
Yes. Jigar knew the answer also. The one who you feed more, he will survive and he will win. If you feed the good dog, he will become more powerful, more strong, and he will win. And if you feed the bad dog will become strong and he will win. That is why in life, why we are finding this problem. Good dog will win, bad dog will win. What is? सीधी बात है ना, जिसको आप ज्यादा खाना खिलाओगे, जिसको ज्यादा पेडिग्री खिलाओगे, वो जीतेगा. Correct? So it is left to you which dog you are going to feed. What are you going to do? Everything is left to you. It is not left to one Lord. It is left to you. You know, we blame Lord for everything. Everything boils down to you. आप खुद किस स्टेटस में हो या किस सरेंडर लेवल पे हो, उस पे इफेक्ट करता है. And then what happens when this is abhadras are washed off? Bhagavati shloke bhaktir bhavatir naishtiki. Here your bhakti is established, firm. Naishtiki. Naishtiki means here Srila Prabhupada gives us, it becomes irrevocable, interchangeable. एकदम फिक्स हो जाते हो आप इसमें. दो चीज, पहले आपको श्रद्धा से कथा सुनने की इच्छा जगाना है. कथा का इच्छा जगाने के बाद जब आपने कथा सुन लिया, सुनताम सुकथा कृष्ण पुण्य श्रवण कीर्तन है ना, हृदयम तस्तुते भद्राणी विदुनोति सुहत श्रद्धाम. आपके अंदर के अभद्रा का धुलाई चालू हो गया है. उसके बाद नष्ट प्रायेषु अभद्रेषु, ज्यादा करके आपके जितने भी ये थे वो अनर्थास वो खत्म हो गए. और अब जब अनर्था खत्म होते तब भक्ति पे विश्वास आता है. तब तक आपका भक्ति पे विश्वास नहीं आएगा. तथा आरभ्य काम.
Prabhuji, you did not say why only certain
Almost nil.
almost nil होता है मतलब.
That those balance of little bit of काम, क्रोध, लोभ, मोह and मात्सर्य has to be used for the service of the Lord. That is what I was telling. लोभ किसका होना चाहिए? हमको I explain ना, शॉप का एग्जांपल I explain ना. लोभ अपने को पैसे का है, लोभ धन का लोभ हो, नेम फेम रिकग्निशन, जो भी लोभ हो, वो लोभ नहीं रखना है अपने को. जो लोभ, see, it's like it's like tomorrow Hemant Prabhu wants to make a 6-pack. So first thing ingredient, what will he require?
खाने का लोग छोड़ना पड़ेगा.
Secondly, कुछ लोग बढ़ाने वाला लोग बोलो ना, छोड़ने वाला मत. एक्सरसाइज करने का लोग उठना चाहिए. जब भी मॉर्निंग, आफ्टरनून, इवनिंग, you should be doing his push-ups and this and that, and eating some proper food and all that. So you'll get, but finally he lands up with a family pack. That's different. Party pack. That's different. But the point what I'm trying to make here is, you should have that lobha. Then he can see, काम हो गया, but then लोभ भी तो होना चाहिए. काम है desire. That's just desire. Chudat may desire something, but finally then you should have that lobha for intense desire, or you should have the pushing force, thrust force for you to achieve it.
Prabhuji, can we relate this with the stages of bhakti, like ruchi?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. This is what is going to come. Now that is why the third verse is going to say tata rajas tamas bhava kama lobha adasche cheteter anavitam sitvam sattve prasidati. This is the next verse 1.2.19. Tata rajas tamas bhava. You can say this nice verse. Tata rajas tamas bhava kama lobha adasche cheteter anavitam sitvam sattve prasidati. Yes, you can read the translation.
As soon as irrevocable loving service is established in the heart, the effects of nature's mode of passion and ignorance, such as lust, desire, and hankering, disappear from the heart. Then the devotee is established in goodness, and he becomes completely happy.
See, all this lust, desire, hankering is required. अगर समझो भगवान ने आपके अंदर से 100% निकाल दिया, लोभ निकाल दिया, भगवान का भी लोभ नहीं, ऐसे भी नहीं, थोड़ा चांस था होने का, वो भी इसके थोड़ा रख देते, but use it sensibly for. So hankering होना, हाँ मेरा बाजू वाले के पास गाड़ी है, मेरा बाजू वाले के पास बड़ा बढ़िया बाइक है, मेरे पास नहीं है, ये वो hankering is there all the time for us, but we never hanker. Hey, he is doing 16 rounds, I am not doing 16 rounds. When that love will come, Prabhu? When that love will come? When that hankering will come? 24 hours the hankering should be there. Whatever work you are doing, one should hanker. Oh, I should do more mala than that person. I should try to do better devotional service than that person. So that is what is required. So these things are required. These ingredients are required. Like for example, this verse clearly explains, as soon as irrevocable, this irrevocable devotional service is, loving service to the Lord is established in your heart, fixed. Bhaktir bhavatir nishtiki. Nisht ho gaya. Tabhi the effect of nature of mode of passion, ignorance. Goodness ka bhi kuch baat nahi kiya. Passion and ignorance, because most of us are in the mode of passion and ignorance. So when someone is in the mode of passion and ignorance, when these levels have come to when the person, after listening to Krishna Katha, cleansing has happened, then he has come to most of the Nashtapraya Shobhadreshu has happened to him. Then when he comes to this level, here it is like, okay, calm and growth, that is your mode of passion and ignorance, they are disappearing from that. Because stage by stage your impediments or your hindrances are removed. It is not removed overnight. Stage by stage. So then the stage of removing of passion and ignorance, that is desire, lust, hankering, disappears from your heart. Thus the devotee is established in goodness. And then he becomes in goodness. What do you get? Happiness. That is what it says clearly. Tatha rajas tamo bhava. Raja and tamo guna. Bhava. Kama lobha adyas chahiye. Adya means etc. संस्कृत में हमेशा आद्य डाल दिया, मतलब बाकी चीज भी आप उसमें ऐड कर. काम लोभ आद्यस चाहिए. चेतेतेर अनावित्वम सित्वम. स्थित्वम सत्वे. सत्वे में सतोगुण में. प्रसीदति. Happy. That is why one who is in real knowledge, he is in happiness, in true happiness. Sadhu is in true happiness. No, and the Gokarna story, that is Atmadev's story in the Mahatmya. So when Atmadev, I mean, you all know the story of Atmadev's story, right?
No.
How many of you don't know? Oh, okay, elevated stools. And now they have started discussing among those who know are teaching those who don't know. Trying to reduce my work. So actually, Atmadev's story here is Atmadev was one Brahmana who had all wealth and all happiness, was an educated Brahmana and all wealth, all knowledge and happiness. And he used to give lots of charity. But उसके पास एक ही गम था. क्या गम था? उसका कोई बच्चा नहीं था. He didn't have a son. He didn't have any child. And his wife, special character. What was the name of his wife? भूल गए? हाँ, धुंधुकारी. नाम से मालूम होना चाहिए. एकदम खतरनाक है. So she used to always be on the bodily concept of life. And one day this fellow became very dejected. He was going to the river. He said, I'm going to commit suicide. What is the use of life without a child? So he was going to the river. And रास्ते में एक साधु मिल जाते हैं. ऐसे मौके पे अक्सर साधु दिखते हैं. बाकी टाइम पे साधु रहेगा तो भी दिखेगा नहीं. चल बाजू हट हो रहे. हाँ, तो ऐसे टाइम में दुख में गम में आपको गलती से साधु दिख जाता है. So when you see that sadhu said, okay, what happened? Why are you so sad? No, I don't have a son. I'm very sad. You have to do something for me. If you don't do, what will happen? You have to do something. He said, see, I can see your forehead. For this whole birth, there is no chance. Your prarabdha karma is so bad that there is no chance that you can have a child. And I am not having a child. My cow doesn't have a child. The tree what I plant, if that doesn't give fruits. Whatever rope I put, there is the thing, I plant a tree, that doesn't give any fruits. I am so bad luck. He says, do devotional service. As it is Chitraketu Maharaj, unhone kya pa liya? He was also sad because he didn't get, he had a child. He was happy without having a child. Then same with King Anga. Vena was a son, useless son. So he explained. आदमी को टाइम पे दिमाग please somehow or the other do it. What happened?
Even Dashrath Maharaj was also.
Dashrath Maharaj did that, but he had no, in the end he had 4 children. No. Chale, okay, agreed. So would be out of gear. Totally out of gear. So he said that since you are not having, don't worry, you just live your life. He said, no, I somehow or the other, I want a child. Finally he said, okay, take this fruit and give it to your wife. When your wife eats it, she will get a child. He gave it to his wife. Dhundli, not Dhundukari, it was Dhundli.
It was his son.
धुंधली. तो धुंधली को दिया. तो धुंधली अपने धुंधकी में रहती थी. वो बोलती मैं खाऊंगी तो मेरा पेट बड़ा होगा, घर में आग लग जाएगा तो मैं कैसे भागूंगी. तो weird thinking, मतलब आज मुझे पता चला उस जमाने से weird thinking वाला सिर्फ आज नहीं, उस जमाने से. तो she said, if I die, the child doesn't come out properly, and if I die, then my nanad, my bhav, devar and all, they will take away all my wealth, and I will lose my beauty also, this and that. And then she told her sister, see, I want a solution to the problem. I don't want to get pregnant. In fact, she gives one verse. There's a very nice sloka where she says, जो औरत को बच्चा नहीं रहता वो सबसे सुखी औरत है. In this world, she gives us her logical. Well, nowadays people are saying, na, there's no second life. Eat, make merry. Chawak principles. जियो तो ऐसे जियो जैसे कि आखिरी हो. Enjoy life to the fullest. बड़े ज्ञानी लोग आजकल भी घूमते हैं, उस जमाने से ऐसे घूमने. So finally, this fellow, she said, I am not going to eat, but she didn't tell her husband. So she told her sister what to do. Give me a plan. She said, don't worry, you don't eat the fruit. Your husband has given, just keep it. You'll test it. You'll give it to the cow. अपने घर में काऊ है ना, उसको खिला दे. Or I am pregnant, so my husband is very happy. If he gets some money, he will give the child. So you take this child and you tell them I am not getting milk on my breast, so then my sister is there, she will take care, and then I will be there to help you, and I will feed the child, I will take care of the child, don't worry. So okay, the plan was set. The racing was fed to the cow, and somehow they manipulated, and this child was born. They declared as if this was her child, and she named the child as Dhundukari. Dhunduli, उसका बच्चा धुंधुकारी. तो आत्मदेव वहाँ पे actually he wanted to keep a nice name. Actually मेरा नाम आत्मदेव है, इसका नाम सहदेव है. कुछ तो एक nice name he was suggesting, but she didn't want. She wanted everything have it her way, my way or highway, ऐसा वाला concept. So finally this boy was having all bad habits. And that cow delivered a nice child, but the ears of the child were like a cow. इसके लिए उसका नाम क्या था? गोकर्ण. कर्ण means ear, go means cow. गोकर्ण. So वहां पे हो गया. दोनों बच्चे बड़े हो रहे हैं. Father was very happy. उसका भी नामकरण किया, इसका भी नामकरण किया. वो अच्छा साधु बन गया, अच्छा पंडित बन गया, और ये बच्चा जो है ये बन गया गुंडा नंबर 1. And finally a day came when he started wasting all his father's money on prostitutes and doing bad things. And वहां पे एक mentioned है that he had kept 5 prostitutes in his house and he was happily staying with them. And finally when his father's money got over, he started beating his father. So the point, actual point is what I'm going to say now. That is the point of the actual story which I want to tell you. But now that we have started the story, I'm telling you the whole story. So that time he is very sad. He is getting beaten by his son, and he tells Gokarna, because he is also like his child. So he tells like, I'm really disgusted and fed up. So he gives an advice. He gives a blessing. He says, now for you the best advice is, your attachment to this material world is the cause of sadness. Last but not the least, if you see the entire Shastra, be it the Karma Yoga, Dhyan Yoga, of course, talks about detachment from the family itself. But at least when you can't detach yourself from the family, Karma Yoga comes into the picture for basically for Grihasthas, where by Karma Yoga, you just do the act without getting attached to the fruits of it. Otherwise, we people are always attached to the fruits. So, he says, if you want to be happy, detach yourself from the fruits. In fact, हम लोग तो पहले पूछते हैं, इसमें मारो फायदा सोचे. तो उससे तो हम लोग स्टार्ट करते हैं. फायदा है तो करते हैं. मतलब first calculate the fruits. How many fruits we get, and then we start the work. And there, Karma Yoga says, कितना भी fruit आवे, don't worry. Mahaphaleshu kadachana. It's the opposite, two opposite things which we are doing. So he said, you detach yourself from house, family and everything, go to the jungle and do devotion service, and that is what you are expected to do. Finally, the father leaves. So actually this is the point which I want to explain, but you want me to complete the story?
Yes,
Okay, now then so I'll complete this story. So then the son started beating the mother. Bol or kaanch chupa kar rakha hai paisa. Bol, Mushum. Finally the mother also got fed up. She also jumped in the well and committed suicide. Now free hand. He kept all the prostitutes in his house. Speciality. He kept a dog also in the house. He kept a dog also in this house. So how many Tundukaris are here? So Shastra says, one who keeps a dog in the house is not a sensible person. He is like a chandal. He's like a chanda. कुत्ता सिर्फ हंटर लोग रखते थे जब hunters used to go to the jungle.
शिकार में
नहीं, शिकार में a hunter is supposed to be a chanda. The lowest, below Shudra, they all come under below Shudra class. They don't come before Shudra class. So, बहुत excited है. हाँ.
ये पॉइंट को मीन है मैं एक्सेल यूज करेगा इसलिए एक्सेल.
So, finally, sure, he became totally. So finally, these prostitutes put a demand in front of him. We want nice jewelry, this and that. This fellow went, looted the king. Looted the king, and he bought everything. What happened?
He was looking at somebody else.
So, looted the king, and he gave everything. Now these ladies came to know. Now he has looted the king. The king's servants will come searching, and he will be caught. Why not we kill him? And very, very dirty manner he was killed. The rope was put round his neck and tightened, but he didn't die. So they put burning coal in his mouth and killed him. The words when I will be reading the Bhagavatam Mahatmya some other time, that I will describe how it is. Very painful death he had. But as you saw you read. Simple. And last but not the least, what can you expect from such class of people who are only materialistic? So finally he died, but he became a ghost. His body was buried. Nobody came to know, but villagers came to know later. And Gokarna was out of town. When he came back, he came to know his brother was dead. So he went to Gaya and he did his Shraddha. And not only that, various other spiritual places he did his Shraddha. And after doing the Shraddha, he came back. And one day, when he came to the house, the very first day when he came to his house, Dundukari's ghost also came over there. And the ghost took funny forms, like form of a goat, a form of a human, a form of a smoke, a fire, all the other things. So finally, he asked, "Who are you? Tell me. Are you a demon? Are you a ghost? Who are you?" And he could not speak. He took a human form, but he could not speak. So he took some holy water, chanted some mantras, and put it on the spirit. And finally, the ghost spoke. "I am your brother, Dundukari. Please, I am in the great yoni. With all the sins which I have committed, the Shraddha done in all the spiritual places is of no use. Somehow save me." They said, "Now what is to be done? Let us read the Srimad Bhagavat, and that is the only solution for you." So he made an arrangement for Bhagavat, and all Rishis Munis came. And since he had a subtle body, a body living on air, there was a bamboo, because when he came for the sabha, for the katha, there was no place where he could sit. I mean, he didn't require a chair and a table. So he went and sat in the bamboo, which had 7 knots. And each day when the katha was being read, at the end of one day, 1 knot would burst open. So on the 7th day, the 7th knot burst, and finally he took a divine form and went back. So this comes in the Mahatmya of the Padma Puran. It comes in the Padma Puran, where Sutta Goswami again describes this to the Naimisharanya sages, the Mahatmya of Bhagavad. So, okay, so you are situated now in Prasidhati. So let me leave you in happiness this week. The next week we will see what are the further changes which happen in the next loka. So we stop at 1.2.19. So if anybody has got any doubts and questions, they can ask. You can switch off the light streaming. Yeah. If anybody has got any doubts, questions, yes, bro. Post case.